Today I have what is possibly a really great arbitrage opportunity. What is arbitrage? Well, it is buying a security that is most likely going to be worth more in the future, not because something external is going to happen, but because that company is going to be bought at a price that is higher than the current share price. So I received news of this here. Now I don't know how to pronounce this name. I'm not sure if it's Lowell or Lowell, so let's call it both. Copper, Gold Mountain Mining, and Anthem United announced a proposed combination to create a new multi-asset gold and copper company. That's interesting. First of all, I want to tell you why I got this piece of news in the first place. One of the guys that I follow, as you already know, is Marin Katusa. Now Marin Katusa is the manager of KCR. KCR is Marin Katusa with a K, Doug Casey with a C, and Rick Rules with an R fund. So you have really the equivalent of Michael Phelps in the resource investing, but in 3 different people acting as one company. And I went onto CDI here and I put in the name KCR as an insider to see the companies that they owned, I believe at least 10% of, and these companies came up. Gold Mountain Mining was one of them, and so I added that to my list on Google Alerts, which you should know by now. If you don't have Google Alerts set up for all of the interesting companies that you're watching, then you're missing out big time. So I received this piece of news, and what I found interesting, and please, if you find something strikingly obvious about this that is just wrong or incorrect, or I'm getting the wrong end of the stick here, please let me know, because to me this sounds like a no-brainer. Gold Mountain Mining is, I believe, 45% owned by KCR, and Lowell Copper has at least one director that is also a director in Gold Mountain. So don't go thinking that all of a sudden, you know, these 3 companies met at a bar and accidentally stumbled their way into becoming one. These are probably the same people that have been hanging out together for years that have decided to come together. Now the interesting part is that it will become an immediate gold production company, okay, because it's 3 companies coming together. Gold Mountain Mining had a very small resource, and looking at the numbers on the website, I knew that it wasn't really enough to move the needle, and so it would have to be repurposed to something else. Now, because I also received news on Gold Mountain Mining, I knew that they had just hired a guy with a lot of experience in doing deals. In other words, this guy was good at buying other companies and doing stuff like this, consolidating companies into one. So I was already sort of preparing myself to act because I knew something was up with Gold Mountain Mining. Now, down here, you will see that, by the way, excellent roster of people. These are names that I definitely recognize and that are praised in the industry as being good managers. So that's a good sign. People come first. Now the juicy bit is the transaction details. It says here, under the terms of the arrangement agreement, shareholders of Gold Mountain will receive 1.032 pre-consolidated common shares of Lowell Copper for each common share of Gold Mountain held. Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, but from this I am interpreting that for each share that somebody owns of Gold Mountain, they will receive 1 share and a little bit of Lowell Copper. Okay, well, that's interesting because the price in the open market for these 2 companies is not the same right now. You come here to Gold Mountain Mining, and right now it's at 28 cents a share. You go to Lowell Copper here, and it's 37 cents. Okay, so this is what, a 9-cent difference? 9 cents might not sound like very much, but 9 cents on 28 is how much? Let me grab my calculator here because I don't do math in public. Okay, so that's just over 32%. So when this finally does go through and the document says that it is due, obviously it needs to be voted on and things like that. But when it does go through, it should be in late September 2016, all things going well. And the people who buy now or who have bought previously will get 1 share in Lowell Copper, which right now is worth 32% more than the Gold Mountain shares. The strange, maybe not so strange thing that I saw was that as soon as this came out, the price of Gold Mountain Mining Corp went down and not up. I mean, usually when you see arbitration opportunities like this, the price of the quote-unquote overvalued stock goes down because people are selling it and buying the lower priced shares, and so eventually they should meet or very close to that. In this situation, shares went down. Does anybody know why shares went down? Because I don't. We do know that these are small companies, and so there aren't many shareholders. One person doing the selling can actually move the price quite a bit if they're a heavy insider. But I see a nice opportunity here to buy Gold Mountain Mining and get Lowell Copper at a 32% bump. Now, I must say, disclaimer, I do own some shares of Gold Mountain Mining. It's not my biggest holding, but I'm willing to bet that this will go through. And I'm also willing to bet that news is going to come out, which will make this very obvious to other people. If you see something very glaring that is being overlooked here, please let me know. This is sort of fresh news, and all being well is going to be a very easy way of getting a nice little bump. Thank you very much. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe because there's a lot more coming your way. Take care.